So when I tell y'all that Erica Mena is going off right now, okay, going off, exposing love and hip hop, baby. Oh yes, it's all going down right now. We got a lot to talk about, Scott Squad. We are back in the mother freaking building, baby. So let's go ahead and stage dive in. So many of you guys, I don't know if they showed this in the preview for last week's episode or not, but we'll get to the actual footage of it in a second. However, it states here, according to our friends over at TV Deets, and this is basically been posted in a lot of places. I just selected TV Deets because I like the visual that they showed. Um, it says MTV to air Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, racism, colorism, and uncomfortable truth following season 11 finale. All right, so here's the details. It says that MTV will air this special immediately following tonight's season 11 finale, the network has announced. The news comes after MTV fired Erica for, did they fire her or did they put her on pause? That's the question. Because it simply said earlier that she would not appear in the next season. It ain't saying nothing about the season after that. But anyway, it says the news comes after MTV fired Erica for calling Spice a blue monkey during a physical confrontation at the show's August 26th episode. Well, on the show's August 26th episode. All right. So the quote reads, this roundtable discusses the recent events that aired on the show before MTV decided to stop filming with Erica Mena. Okay. So I want to pay attention to this. This wording is what's going to come into contention in just a few seconds, baby. Okay. This roundtable discusses the recent events that aired on this show before MTV decided to stop filming with Erica Mena. International colorism expert Dr. Sarah L. Webb, founder and owner of Colorism Healing, a leader in raising awareness, shifting attitudes, and taking action, leads an open dialogue that features Spice, Yandy, Jock, Scrappy, Sierra, Amy, and a special appearance from Rashida sharing their experiences. Now, okay, so let's discuss just this part of it really quickly, and then we'll go into what Erica had to say. All right. So for me, when I look at the inclusion of the people here that are listed here, what I will say though, clearly this is in response to the backlash of the airing of the episode. And I will say that because of what Erica will also explain to us in just 1 second. But what I want to note here is this. While I think it's if we want to have this conversation, I do appreciate that we have leading the conversation an international colorism expert by the name of Dr. Sarah L. Webb, who is the founder and the owner of Colorism Healing, a leader in raising awareness, shifting attitudes, and taking action. All right, so I appreciate that part of it because I do feel like it shouldn't just be the cast. I do feel like this should have come on at a reunion for the cast. And I feel as though what I would have loved to have seen would have been a discussion that also included Erica Mena, because she is at the center of this controversy. And I feel like this conversation should have also included her. Just my opinion. Even though if they're saying she's fired, I guess that's one thing. But Erica is telling us a very different story. So let's take a look at what she has to say. And this is coming from our friends over at Reality Entertainment TV. If you do not follow them on the IG, baby, follow along, okay? Because the tea is constantly being spilt on some of your favorite reality television shows and even clips as well. So be sure to take a look-see and see what all is going on down the page. But Erica posted this, and I'm not clear if it was in response to this that was posted, right? And as you guys can see, the little roundtable discussion that's happening here, right? All right, so that's the clip of the roundtable that does not include Erica. And here is a clip that Erica posted from her stories. This is on her stories right now, as of 1:26 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. As last I checked, this was still on her stories. It says, working on Love and Hip Hop, August 25th, 2023. 3 days after August 29th, they aired the episode proudly. I was even being asked to shoot a scene that Monday, August 28th of 2023. Okay. So to further her point, I don't know if she commented on the previous post or not, but here is what they were able to capture. She says this: I think it's absolutely fair that I speak under this post, especially because I was indeed filming nonstop for 7 months after the actual incident between me and that other individual happened. So she's not even saying Spice's name at this point. She says so nonstop for 7 months. How many? So okay, this is what. Okay, let's say um August, July, June, May, April. Did this happen in March? Is that when this happened? Anyway, I thought it happened in June. So anyway, let's continue. What do I know, right? What do I know? All right. So she says that the network chose to still film with me nonstop, which is why I was used as the base storyline for the whole second half of this actual season. They had this footage for months. They chose to edit it how they wanted and aired it. It's only now they are desperate, trying to save face and using me to do so. If I'm being used to set an example, why was I not part of this roundtable discussion? So that was the question that I also asked, right? I think that she should be a part of that discussion. However, if she has been fired, that may explain why she's not part of that discussion. So I'm kind of, that could be the potential answer to my question. But, I mean, a fired employee is not coming to the company picnic, right? So anyway, it says, why are they so desperate to film nonstop right now to make up for everything that I shot that they can't use now? So it sounds like she's being told that there's still filming that was happening because there's footage of her, I'm assuming, that they can't use. I'm not clear on that one, but that's what I would assume. So she says, desperate to save face, but true. And only reason a statement was even made by the network was because the backlash. Now, because they truly believed, not because they truly believed what I said was a racial slur. Now, this is the part where I feel like, I don't know, babes. I don't know, babes. Um, the blue monkey of it all is definitely given slur. Okay. Whether who believes it or not, there's a philosophy in reality TV that says follow the reality, no matter how ugly it gets. There's also the philosophy as we learn, as we kind of move forward in this reality TV space of, as we spoke about yesterday, what to do when an incident like this happens. Do you show it? Okay. And if you don't show it, do you simply put up the disclaimer? Something happened, something heinous happened. Erica will no longer be filming with us, and we're done with that, and we're going to be moving on to something else. Or do you show what happened? Chime down in the chatterization down below what you guys think, right? Because, let's say that we know that there's an altercation that happens on a show. When they don't show us the altercation, there are people who are upset. When they do show the altercation, there are people who are upset. Do you guys think that there's any pleasing the masses with this? That's one of my first questions for you. All right, she says the fact that they're now making a mockery of the situation by using individuals who have indeed said things just as bad. Messy Yandy herself in 2015 at Hot 97 on air called me an ASS monkey to try and say. So I'm assuming that the context is a little interesting here, because the reality of the situation for a lot of people, okay, I'm speaking in general for a lot of people, is that when someone who is who i- eh, someone who is not black, okay, calls a black person a monkey, it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Period. Point blank. All right. Now I don't know exactly how Erica Mena herself identifies. I don't know the complete range of what she identifies as. Is it Latina? Is it Afro Latina? I'm not necessarily sure. What I can say is that however you present is how the world is typically going to receive you. So when you present in the way that she does and you call someone who is clearly a black person a monkey, it's going to ruffle some feathers. That's the reality of it. Is it right, wrong? And it is what it is. That's just exactly what it is. It's like somebody saying, calling somebody the N word. It's just going to be a problem, right? Anyway, she goes on to say to try and save face for this network sponsors is pathetic. Okay. So then she brings in the sponsors. All right. So there's also the obligation that the network then has to the advertisers. So, I mean, if a network has to act or respond to something, especially when there's uproar about it, then sponsors and advertisers are then also potentially going to possibly get involved, right? That's the reality of the world of the network television, right? Anyway, she says, if you really wanted to save face, why not have the two women who are just as wrong in that scene have this conversation since now this network feels it needs to be had? Well, I think that the reason is, ma'am, because you are an ex-employee. If we are to believe that you are fired, right? So again, you don't invite the old employees to the company cookout or the company meeting. It just doesn't usually work that way. If they were going to keep you, then maybe I could see that. But I'm just saying, in an ideal world, I think in an ideal world, if they had been planning on keeping her, I guess that wouldn't even be ideal because most people want to see her gone anyway. So it's really ain't no way she would have been a part of this conversation at this point, right? I mean, looking at what we know now, right? Um, she hits at two people who being just as wrong. First of all, I do want to acknowledge I have thought that Spice has been overreacting to a lot this season. I felt like the going at Erica's son when the conversation didn't really warrant it. Not really going after her son because she didn't technically go after her son. I think the son caught the stray. I think that the diss was actually meant for Erica. And so that is why Spice doesn't feel like she said anything bad about the son. She basically was commenting on the mothering. Um, do I think that she needed to go there? I don't think she needed to go there. However, I don't think that excuses Erica and what she said in response because as history has pointed out and prior evidence has also pointed out, Erica's previous use or alleged use of the word monkey in reference to black people. And we've seen since we've been able to, people have unearthed it over and over again. I kind of feel like, yeah, that's not a good point, Erica. Okay. She says, I gave this franchise 13 plus years, and now they want to say face, so they are going to wear my name out on this to make up for their F up. Do you guys think that the network effed up, or do you think she effed up? The sad truth in all of this franchise has always depicted us as zoo animals anyway, for which you actually willingly participated in because it also provided, I'm sure, notoriety, fame, as well as income. Okay, let's not forget about that. Anyway, she says, sending so much love to my supporters. Love, I love y'all. So, that is Erica Minner's message to you all as she exposes the network. You know, I also, uh, I don't know what. Listen, what she's saying about this at this point is pretty much a moot point. What I want to know is, are you guys going to be watching this? Do you feel like you're on her side in this matter? I ain't here to judge you no way or another. I'm just here to tell you what I feel like I'm seeing from hopefully an objective standpoint, but also what I feel like I know to be true and how networks work and how the world of television works. Um, mm, will you be tuned in for this conversation? Is the conversation topic important? Absolutely. The problem is, as I'm looking online, do you trust the topic? Do you trust the conversation? Do you trust the network at this point? How do you feel about it? I will tell you guys that my second half of this video was really going to be dedicated to the Scrappy of it all, because he did an interview with Carlos King. The interview with Carlos King, really, the first part, this is part one of part two of two parts. Part one, I think the first half really kind of focused on Scrappy's backstory with his mom and Mama D, and us. Really, for me, there's so much that I had not really, well, I think I maybe have forgotten, but I was really reminded of a lot of things about, kind of her and her dealings with, managing the women's, and having the comings and goings in the house, and apparently the people was doing the do in the kids' bedrooms, and there was little straws around for the whatever the people do with the stuff and stuff like that. He really goes into the idea of how he was asked to be on the show. Really, Mona allegedly, let me put the alleged badge up here. I mean, everything we say is alleged, okay? I mean, just like, it is what it is. But really, the backstory is that Mona asked him to be a part of it because she wanted to capture the Scrappy and Diamond Dale and Soldier Boy of it all, because that was the thing that was popping at the time, right? But he didn't want to do it with the Diamond Dale of it all, because he felt like she'd be talking to him crazy and they'd be going at it, I guess. Or were going at it like, kind of crazy. So he asked about bringing in his baby's mama, which was Erica Dixon at the time. Well, is Erica Dixon. And he talked about how, they gave her a stylist and they dressed her up because she was kind of a regular round the way girl, you know what I'm saying, who looked really good. And once she got that glow up, it was like, you got to contact me through my management. Okay. I don't blame you, Miss Erica Dixon. Go ahead and get that glow up and get the management team in order. All right. Um, I'm going to get to really the stuff about him and Bambi, because I feel like that's the stuff that's really making the news the most right now. It is a good interview if you want to go back and watch for yourself. Um, some interesting things that I thought about that whole situation. He does talk about how Diamond Dale allegedly cheated on him, but the impression that I got from that situation was that they were cheating on each other. They were both really young and going through it. He says that Erica was his first love, but that it was Diamond Dale who really taught him about heartbreak and pain and suffering, because the whole world knew about her getting with Soldier Boy over him, and how, during that time in betwixt, like, I guess maybe sort of right after that, he ended up getting with the Bams, aka Adizia, Barbara, Bam, okay. She even talked about how he had beef with Soldier Boy, like online or whatever, and I think he was actually maybe back with Erica or with Erica. I'm not really sure at the time, but I know that whatever the case was with the Bam was that she was the one who told him to stop beefing with Soldier Boy because it really wasn't going to be a good look, right? Now, with regards to the relationship with Bam, he felt like it was some questionable stuff going on with her. He says that that's why he was shocked that the text messages, I guess, between him and Diamond Dale are the things that caused the divorce. Do we know what the text messages said? I think I don't still know what the text messages said. Anyway, he says that when you then he reveals this tea. When you go and read someone's thoughts about you, and you can read it without that knowledge, but you can't really tell them you read it. So Carlos is like, "Did you go through her phone?" And he's like, "No, it was something maybe like a diary or something." So he didn't read the woman diary. He said he realizes there was some B behavior, okay? But he felt like he wasn't really doing enough for her to warrant a divorce. He says he was always with her, and if he wasn't, he was just going to the studio or going to Miami to clear his head. And she would get mad because it's certain exes of his or people that he knew that lived there, and he always felt that. And he even says, "Well, I wouldn't blame her, but I would need solid proof before somebody would before. But I'm thinking to myself, if you say that you don't blame her for feeling some type of way about you going to Miami and doing all these things, but you would need some type of proof, and if she found the proof in the form of text messages, then I don't understand why you say what the surprise is that she divorced you. Anyway, it was asked. Well, apparently she was suspicious of everything, according to him. Was Bambi jealous of his success? Scrappy says that that's what people will tell him, but he's never had that conversation with her. Then he says he's never seen this lady. Then he has to double back because remember this when his daughter called Bambi that lady, it caused a whole firestorm. So then he says he never seen her say something good about him on TV until another woman said something bad about him to make him look bad. He said then he figured it out. This was so interesting to me. He says that women love him so much because he's a good father. Women look at him like, oh, I can have a good life with him because he ain't gonna beat me, and it ain't gonna be no shootouts. There's so much wrong with that train of thought, but I have decided that it is because it is a life that I do not know nor understand. The idea of a man beating a woman is just like insane to me. The idea of putting one's paws on their spouse is really insane to me. But I know that it happens. It happens. But for that to be the bar for which he thinks that these women are trying to get with him, I would have to say that is a very low bar. Okay. And you know what? There's no more that I need to say than that. Let me know what you guys think about both of these topics in the comments down below. And of course, I will catch you all in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her off her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?